Hello guys and welcome to one more video on flight prep. Today we're gonna speak a little bit about fuel policy, fuel planning, and where to get the information in air law to plan our flight fuel-wise. Okay, so with no further ado, first of all, let's see. As you know, in general aviation, first thing that you'll need to check in all aviation. The first info that you need to check is ICAO information, and what fuel and fuel supply is concerned. You'll need to come to aircraft, so operation of aircraft, which is Annex 6. Okay. Part 2, International General Aviation, airplanes. Okay. And what they say is fuel and oil supply. I think it's sorry, let me show you so it's easier for you when you go search for it. You'll need to come here. Okay, it's flight preparation, flight operation, chapter 2.2, flight operations, flight preparation. And once you get there, you'll have all the info that you need about fuel fuel planning. Okay, so fuel policy. After this, you'll need to check EASA air law, which is going to be easy access rules for air operations. Okay, and then you have different parts. Okay, guys, don't forget these: ARU, ORU, CAT, SPA, NCC, and CO. Our part is part NCO. Our part, if you are a student pilot, okay, and if you are in an ATO, you'll need to go for NCO, which is non-commercial, non-complex aircraft operations. Okay. After that, go to General Requirements, Subpart Bravo Operational Procedures, and then Fuel and Oil Supply, which is NCO OP 125. And this will give you fuel and oil supply for airplanes. You have helicopters down here. I know that we have some students in the next SEP course that came from the Air Force helicopter. So if you want to take a look by any chance, it's there. So all the information is here, and and basically that's it. After this, you will need obviously to check for your ATOs, so your school's operations manual, which I also have here. As you can see, the information is not really user friendly. So I did some tables for us to evaluate all of the information. Before going any further, if you are a complete noob and you're watching this video and you don't know jack about what we're talking about, just go for ATPL book, Flight Planning and Monitoring. Okay, this one is Oxford CAE. It's really good. All right. I'm not being sponsored or anything, but yeah, this is a very good book, and you have here all you need to know about fuel planning and fuel policy to start. Okay, I have here single engine piston airplanes, multi-engine, all of it. Basically, and it will explain to you what's the sorry, let me put here. It's going to explain to you what's alternate fuel, trip fuel, basically the basis, everything. Okay. With no further ado, let's go. I have all the information here that we need. I took it from the up-to-date air law, ICAO and EASA, and also our operations manual. Please check that you have the current information by the time you'll see this video. This might change. Okay. For another thing, for guys that just started in aviation, ICAO has priority over EASA, and EASA has priority over your ATO or any airliner company. Okay, so if ICAO says something, it always has priority over what EASA says, and if EASA says something, it always has priority over your company. So your entity has always to be in accordance with the same air law as the entity above, or be more demanding. Okay, if ICAO says that you'll need one alternate airdrome for a specific situation, EASA has to say that you'll need one alternate airdrome or more if they want, okay, but never less. If they want to say that they have that they are less demanding, so they need less, for instance, you don't need an alternate in the same situation, it has to be stated in that air law that in this matter we don't comply with ICAO, okay, and it has to be all approved. All right, so basically that's the authority pyramid in aviation. Now, what does ICAO says in terms of fuel policy? Long story short, it divides into IFR, VFR flights. Inside IFR, do you need an alternate or not? Inside VFR, is it by day or is it by night? If you are going to do an IFR flight and you don't need an alternate, you just go for destination airdrome fuel plus 45 minutes of fuel. If you need an alternate, it's exactly the same thing, plus the alternate fuel, obviously. VFR flights. If it's by day, you need fuel to fly to the destination airdrome and land, of course, plus 30 minutes. If it's by night, fuel to fly and land at destination airdrome plus 45 minutes. Okay, EASA says exactly the same, but adds this line here, which is very useful for us schools. It's the local flight. So basically EASA says, if you have a flight where the departure airdrome is the same as the destination airdrome, and the destination, it's always going to be in sight, so basically a local flight, you'll just need destination to the you'll just need fuel for the destination airdrome plus 10 minutes. Okay, I don't like only have to have only 10 minutes in reserve, but this is what they say. Operations manual from our school. Okay, it's basically either you are VFR or IFR, it just divides into local or not local. Local, it's your mission, which is basically fuel for destination Ultraman and land, plus 1 hour. If you are not local, it's fuel for your mission, plus 5% of that fuel that you just calculated, plus 45 minutes. With no further ado, we'll do an example for a flight that we're just going to put up right now. Let's say that we're going to fly from Cascais to Portimão. It's a flight of approximately 2 hours, so our destination airdrome fuel will be 2 hours. Our alternate, it's Faro, which is approximately 15-20 minutes away. So let's go for the worst case scenario, 20 minutes to alternate. Contingency, it's usually when you have to do a weather deviation or something like that. Let's say that everything, that weather it's good all over Portugal, so 0 or whatever, nothing here. Final reserve, since we are VFR, it's going to have to be 30 minutes. Additional fuel, it's only when you don't have en route alternates and you are in an airliner, in a jet multi-engine aircraft, so it's not for us. Or if you have an isolated destination airdrome, which is not our case, so you can check it in airlaw what's the additional fuel for. So we're not going to put nothing here. Extra is usually when you already have fuel in your aircraft and it's the fuel that is left. Let's say that it's extra to your mission. Okay. So the total amount of fuel we have, summing all of this, is put it in a different format. 2 hours 50 minutes. Okay, 2 hours 50 minutes is what we need. So now we need to check if we are in accordance with the air law that it's currently up to date. So ICAO is the same as EASA, so let's use here EASA. It's going to be a VFR flight. It's going to be by day. It's not a local flight, so we need fuel for destination aerodrome plus 30 minutes, and we have fuel for destination aerodrome plus 50 minutes. So in relationship to EASA, we are good. But in relation to our operations manual, let's see. It's a VFR flight, doesn't matter. It's a not local flight. And we need mission, which is here, okay, 2 hours. 45 minutes and plus 5% of the mission. How much is 5% of 2 hours? It's 6 minutes. So 6 minutes plus 45, it's going to be 51, okay? 51, it's the result from 5% of the mission plus 45, okay? So we'll need fuel for the mission, which is 2 hours, and 51 minutes, which is the rest, and we have for 2 hours and 50 minutes. So it's not enough, guys. We need to put one more minute of fuel. So obviously kidding, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, so this is the fuel that we need to comply with all of the air law. So when we go to our aircraft, we need to check fuel consumption and put fuel in accordance with 2 hours and 51 minutes of fuel. With this said, guys, I hope you find this this video very useful for you. If you want to add anything, or if I forgot something, or if I did any mistake that most probably I did, tell me in comments or just send me a message or something. So this is the last video that I'm doing about flight prep. Next video it's going to be a briefing, an example of a briefing. That is no standard, let's say, briefing, but I'm going to show you how to do a briefing and to compile all the information that we just learned in these and previous videos, and to basically explain this information in the most expedite and expeditious and clear way to the person that we're going to fly with, either our captain, our colleague, whatever. So basically how to say to the other guy that all this information is ready, and that we are good to go fly. And I think that's it. We'll see you next video or next class or next flight. Okay, bye bye.